100 days since Trump has been in office. Do you think black people respect other black people? Can I get another gunshot sound for this one? Yeah. That's
The Podical Sons.
what's up, y'all. I am Uncle Marvelous.
And I'm School? I'm School Josephs.
Your school?
I'm School Josephs.
Oh, school's in session.
School's in session.
And we are the Podical Sons. Let's start the show. This show is hilariously inappropriate, intellectual beyond belief. Let's do this. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above. All streaming platforms possible. Forgive the slowness today. But as of today, when this airs, this is 40. This is what 40 looks like. Like, comment, subscribe, audio, all streaming platforms possible. Podical Sons podcast on the platforms, on the social medias, at Podical Sons. You can see these faces and this crown on YouTube and Spotify. Let's go. What brought you joy this week?
Oh, celebrations, man. That was the number one thing. I don't think
Celebrations?
I don't think anything was more joyous than that.
Yeah. Thank you.
This week, yeah. I was looking forward to it. It was made its thing.
It came, it saw, it conquered, and appreciate all the memories and stuff that it came with and stuff. Last night was mad real. Sunglasses and Advil, as you can see. Yo, yeah, never lie. Yeah, never lie. He just talks some different shit with her for attention, but you know how the attention whores get down. Yeah, no, that brought me extreme joy. Extreme joy. Last night was, most of the time in my life, I chase contentment.
Yeah.
Last night was happiness. That was happiness at its like full brim. Again, you can't replicate that, whatever, right? And no shade and stuff, but we know how life goes and stuff like that, whatever. Let's say, instead of doing the BIG like that on the 40th, whatever, doing BIG at the 50th and stuff, whatever, no shade or no talking nothing, whatever. Some people might not be there, whether it be health purposes or whatever purposes, or, lack the putting in the work and stuff for that to continue to be in my world.
Right.
But I look at the stuff as like just taking everything and stuff for what it was and stuff last night, from like the setup, like leading into it to the setup and all that type of stuff, whatever. Like, yo, it was real. It was real. It was a beautiful thing. I am highly blessed. I am highly loved. I realized that I realized that like before when I was planning it, but then like when I was talking to one of my homeboys who was there,
right?
Shout out to Cool K. When it came to him and stuff that we were talking about, he's like, oh, so he thought that we were gonna have like a dinner of like maybe like me and a few other people and stuff, whatever, be like 10.
Okay.
So he's thinking like about 10 and stuff and everything like that, whatever. He's like, you can recruit damn near that much people?
Right.
So I was like, yeah, well, some people won't, like, I didn't expect some peoples and stuff to travel. So shout out to like, Sneaks, whatever, right? Shout out to boy Jamal. So like when they came to like him, he's like, I would have missed this for nothing. He's like, yo, he's like, when do you not show up for people? You always show up for people and stuff, whatever.
Right.
Why wouldn't we show up for you and stuff like that, right? And I was like, that's real.
Right.
That was real and stuff, whatever, right? Because my love language is quality time and stuff, whatever. So I always try to, commit quality time and show up and shit like that, whatever. Speak of the devil, he even just hit me and shit like that, whatever, right? And like, it's just crazy and stuff, whatever, where I didn't realize until I realized and stuff, especially like watching like the video.
Yeah.
Watching the video and stuff like that. That's what kind of got me and stuff, because these are peoples and stuff that are like, these are like friendships and stuff that have spanned from like decades in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, shout out to my boy Mike and everything. My boy Mike, he's kind of like the newer one, and he's going on 10 years.
Yeah.
So when he was talking to me, he's like, yeah, Marv, we met in like 2016 and stuff for that, before your son was born and everything. I'm like, yeah, that's right. And I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, but that's like almost 10 years ago and stuff in itself. And everybody else is decades, whatever. Like my boy Jamal, we've been kicking it since like we were 15 years old.
Right.
Right? So I look at it stuff as where anything that ends in the word ship, you put in work to keep it afloat. We're doing that. You make time for the people that you and things that you love, and like everybody carved their time out. And those who came, they came. I'm not even gonna say if you miss your diss. I'm not
Right.
even gonna be on that level and stuff, whatever. But I'll just say and stuff, whatever. That like everybody that did show up,
Yeah.
you have my eternal thanks. Like from that, you too as well, whatever. Right? Y'all have my eternal thanks and love and stuff, whatever. And like I was thinking about it, like when I woke up this morning and stuff, and I had a cup of tea and shit like that, and I was like, yo, it's a hell of a feeling.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a feeling and stuff, whatever. Because like going back to what my boy was saying, he's like, yo, boss, like he turned 40 last year, and he's like, you seen our dinner? We had it. I went for dinner with him and stuff, whatever. Right?
Right,
He's
right.
like, it was just 6 of us for his birthday dinner, his 40 and stuff. Whatever. He's like,
Yeah.
mine shitted all over his whatever, right? But I'm looking like. It's not really the whole setup and stuff. I'm like, like the setup. He's like, no, it's not even that. He's like, there's not too many real people and stuff that he has in his world like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was looking at stuff with her. So I'm like, well, this is something that you should kind of identify within yourself or look at it as stuff and examine within yourself to say, like, well, why not?
Right.
Why don't you have, something or peoples and stuff like that? What's going on? Do you have the wrong people in place? Maybe you should replace them with other people and stuff, whatever that do need and nurture. And it takes time.
Yeah. Of
It takes
course.
time. Like I don't think a great friendship and stuff just automatically just hits the ground running and stuff, whatever. You need trials and tribulations. You need yes, you need no's. You need to have to like agree to disagree
Yeah.
moments and still keep it pushing because in the world we live in now, people mad sensitive.
Of course.
So it's kind of like if you say the wrong thing and stuff to them and stuff, whatever, it's kind of like block and delete.
Yeah.
Instead of like having a full conversation and stuff, or like, Smooth, you made me feel this type of way when you called me a punk bitch.
Right.
We have a discussion about it. You meant nothing about it. Okay, maybe I overreacted and stuff, whatever. We good? That's it. No one's talking no more.
No, and it like you said, it takes a while for a relationship to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that you definitely have to put in the work. So I would not even say that no one's talking. Nobody's not even willing to put in the work. Talking is just one of those
Forms
tools
of
that's
work.
in it, right? But
Right.
nobody's not even willing to put in the work to form those actual relationships. It's funny because I was just thinking, even the other day, no, actually yesterday, heading downtown. I was thinking about just on the weekends, how just from high school, we always used to just go to the corner, the school at the corner, and play basketball. Whether that be on the weekends, whether that be after school, that would be our congregating spot, right? And then when everybody started left from high school, went into
College life,
post
adult
secondary
life.
life, adult life, everybody kind of did the second, kind of spread their wings and went their separate ways. But there's still that moment where you try to, okay, let's organize something like once a week, try and play, ball at the local gym or something like that.
Right.
Then that would happen for maybe a few months at a time. And then, then that slowly stops as other things starts to take over. But you do realize though that, the ones that really consider you to be like a true friend and
Mhm.
can trust in you in times and needs will always seek you out in times of need.
That's true.
You know what I mean? We'll always seek you out in times of need. And I think I think those are like who you should consider the core and then make a better effort to not just leave it to times of need. You know what I mean? Just not leave it to times of need and make that connection more frequent.
Let me ask you this. I'm coming alive and stuff now. Meanwhile, we're talking. So this is why podcast is needed. It's also my therapy and
Right.
everybody else's therapy.
Yeah.
You, from what I know about you and stuff, a lot of people, I want to say, will come to you in their time of need,
Right.
right? I know we say stop expecting you from other people, but do you feel, and it's a personal thing and stuff, whatever. I'm just, like, I don't want to air out your business and everything, but like when people come to you in times of need and everything,
Yeah.
do you feel like it may be too many times you come into the like to need or save somebody and stuff without them saving you? So let's say, for example, if you save like somebody and stuff 10 times,
Right.
like I want to say, but like consecutively enough, it's kind of like smooth, I need you, smooth, I need you, smooth, I need you. 10 times you've saved them. Do like the 11th time and stuff, whatever, like you say to yourself, like, well, damn, like, can you get me one time? Like, I'm not saying that you do say
N-
it.
No, you know what? And it's funny because I think I used to feel like that,
Why
but
did you
then
change? So come back to that. Hold
y-
that.
yeah,
Why did you change? Or how did you change from that used to feeling?
I came to the realization that I'm a person of help. I am put here to help. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
So
like
that
I
that
am a facilitator of help. Like
okay.
if there's
So
anything
that's your purpose.
yeah,
That's your life
yes,
purpose.
if there's anything that I'm good at is helping my fellow man. So at that point it
Or
became
woman.
or woman, and at that point it became a point where I can actually physically do this and not worry about anything or expect anything in return. If it
Mhm.
comes back in return, I'm blessed,
Yeah,
right? But just
it'll come back in another.
it'll come back in
Yeah,
another
because
way,
we know how
right?
God works and stuff,
Yeah,
whatever, right?
but the I think the gratitude I take from it is that I am able and in a position to do it because not many are,
That's true.
right? So I think I take that as my blessings. Excuse me, and then I just carry it forward. I like the feeling that it gives me. The
Oh,
feeling
so
that yeah,
you get that
I get that.
like that soul feeling or
Yeah,
dopamine hit.
yeah. I like the feeling that it gives me. Um, you know, like you know, like editing is my life. I I do it
Mm-hmm.
because I'm good at it,
No, you're fucking
and
great at it.
and
I saw that
and it
last
brings
night.
me joy, right? But
Right.
you know, no money in the world can take place of the feeling that I got from how you felt from the video.
I cried.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's me being able to give that to you without looking for anything in return, right? Like
Right.
that you telling me, yo, how it made you feel, like that is my gift, right? So I realize that now, and it's like I can be cool with just being a facilitator. I don't have to be a leader. I don't mind following. I just want to make sure I'm following the right person who's going in the right direction. And if that's not the case, then I'll become the leader of myself. And hopefully I'll be able to lead
Can you
somebody
edit like some
in the
gunshot sounds when I
right
do this?
direction.
Like boom, 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 boom. Cause like that's so like even the lead aspect and stuff, whatever. I think the thing and stuff is that the expression too many directors, not enough actors.
Right, yeah.
I feel like everybody really wants to be a director and stuff like that, whatever. When they need to know their position
Yeah.
or their purpose.
Or their purpose.
They need to know their purpose and then get in and fit in. But this is where I'm looking at where like a tribal type of thing and stuff, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like my keys of happiness or my keys of contentment and stuff, whatever, is my faith, my tribe, meaningful work, and friendships.
Yeah.
Friendships. Like I look at it stuff as like I don't really gotta be fully invested and deep into like knowing you. Like, all right, look at it. You at my thing, my event,
Right.
right? You see some of my peoples and stuff, whatever. All my peoples know about you,
Right.
whatever, right? So if they come up to you and stuff on a one-way and everything like that, if you click off with them and stuff for them, y'all have your own world and stuff, whatever. Or we like, we formulate like Voltron. Boom. Wait, I'm
Yeah.
old now. I can say Voltron now.
Oh, yeah,
I'm a unk. Back in my day, we had Voltron and we had the Power Rangers. And then you can have a situation and stuff with somebody else and stuff where it's like it's like a high and by thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh shit, this is one of Mars peoples and stuff like that, whatever. There's no, they don't disrespect you. You guys, it's all respect.
Right.
And it's like a, you know, hail up, keep it pushing type of vibe and stuff like that, whatever. I'm not saying you won't look at them like as friend, but you'll look at the stuff as like, you might throw them kind of like a benefit of a doubt because you know me, you know
Yeah.
I'm a solid dude,
Yeah.
and I have this person and stuff in
Yeah.
my world, and they didn't violate you.
We call it getting a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like the friends and family disco and stuff,
Right,
whatever,
right.
right? So I look at it stuff as like, it's not really have to be like a deep ass friendship, but it's kind of like, yo, I know you, you know me, vice versa. And even like you guys individually like might follow each other on podcast on social medias or some shit like that, whatever. And then you guys talk and stuff like that, and much less like, you know,
Right.
then that's kosher with me.
Yeah.
And I think that should be good enough for certain people. And if it goes deeper and stuff, whatever, that's an extra blessing.
This extra blessing.
It's just like for me, somebody said this to me and stuff, whatever, probably like a month ago, or probably like I want to say a month ago, like course of the weeks and stuff ago.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Am I looking for?" They said this to me. They said, "Do I want I expect my friendships or my relationships with people to be transactional."
Right.
I'm saying no to that, but
Yeah.
then let me know how you think this, and this is my no. My no and stuff, whatever, is that again, I'm okay with doing the 10. We're
Yeah.
bringing it back to the 10.
Yeah.
I'm okay with doing that and stuff like that, whatever. But I look at it stuff as like, if this is tug of war, I'm doing all the pulling. What are you doing behind me? Right? So if you're doing like buffing your nails and you're not helping to pull, like again, part of the tools is the work. I need to understand the stuff you're doing to work because I might not need money.
Yeah.
I might not need like certain type of things because I'm considered the strong one and stuff, whatever. But again, in the time of need and stuff, I might be like, hey, let me ask you something and stuff, whatever. Or I want to pick your brain or something like that, whatever, right? Or even, I don't really vent to people and stuff, whatever, because venting to me is stuff I can fix most of that stuff on my own. But I look at it stuff as like counsel and advice is what more so I look for and stuff. I'm like, you know, Smooth, I got a problem and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
Tell me I'm crazy or help me solve this and stuff like that, whatever. So I think that if 10 times and stuff I come through for a person,
Yeah.
I don't expect them to come through on the 11th, whatever. But when it comes to the 11th time and stuff like that, whatever, I might kind of look at the situation with the person and stuff like that and be like, now does my world kind of rely or like make room for them? Because I look at it stuff as where you never came through back in like in a reciprocal aspect, and I'm not asking for reciprocal.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it and stuff as from a spaceship or form and stuff as like you're more, or the person might be more of a taker, and I might not have it to give.
Yeah.
Because I've already given a lot.
Yeah. And my answer would be to that is that of course you shouldn't ever give more than you're allotted to, or that you have to, or that you could possibly.
My heart is big. It's big.
Yeah, my heart, and I'm
your heart's
guilty
way
for that.
bigger than your mind shit.
And I'm
you
guilty for that. I have a big heart as well, and I think one of the things that I had to learn, even though I enjoy giving, it's not really a cut off point, right? But the realization is, at what point does my helping stop and my enabling begins? And I don't want to ever pass that point, right? So
can I get another gunshot sound for this one? Yeah. That's
so I had to be mindful of that, right? So, you know, and now I'm at the point where if it becomes, or if it starts to feel like it's an enabling thing, then I'll nip it.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'll nip it, and then you know, I'll give you suggestions on how you can move forward without me, right?
True.
But and I'll tell you straight up. I said, listen, if I had the time to dedicate to it, then I would be of more help. But I just don't have the time. There's other things that I have to concentrate on.
I think for me, it's just some like. For me, I get to a point because like I'm that much of a giver.
Yeah.
Right. And I get to a point and stuff where I'm looking at stuff is where giving or like even there's energy and time.
Yeah.
right? And I look at it stuff as I might have gave my best energy, my best time to other situations that the person might need me for, whatever, right?
Right.
But I look at the stuff as where, like, I keep it a buck. Like, God has other plans for me in this world.
Yeah.
And I can't keep stopping to, you can't take
No,
everybody with
you
you.
can't.
So
Yeah,
I look
yeah.
at it stuff as where, like, is this person like becoming weight or like feathers to help me fly? You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I look at it stuff as that sometimes it's like when I'm looking at stuff at certain type of situations, stuff like that, it's not a transactional thing, but I'm like, there's a lot more weight than it is like wings to fly.
Yeah.
Because I like even like last night, I understood this stuff. Like, yo, these people in here truly and really want me to win, see me win.
Right.
Right. And I appreciate that. But then there's others and stuff, whatever, that like, might have never showed up or might not like, or that didn't get an invite or something like that, whatever.
Yeah.
It tends to feel like weight.
Right.
So I look at stuff as like, yeah, I got places to go. Where my God wants me to go,
Yeah.
I can't have too much weight on me to slow me down.
Right. Right. Right.
So that's why I'm looking like, I just want to pick your brain on that, whatever. I need you, Smooth. Help me.
Yeah. No, of course. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Weight's a heavy thing to carry. Someone else's weight is even heavier.
What?
So and that's exactly what you have to look out for. You got to be able to. It's not to say that you can't or you wouldn't be willing to do it, but there comes a point where you do have to be um less selfless and more selfish.
Nice.
And I think again, that was something that I struggled with. Um, just being, giving to the point where there was nothing left in the tank for me. Um,
To go where you need to
and
go.
then not, and it wouldn't be necessarily be so bad if there was others to help pour in my tank. But just realizing that there may not be others,
Mhm.
then now I cannot let myself go below that line
Right.
where the yellow light starts to come on and I'm struggling to go get gas.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that because it gives a feel like you finally understood, like, know your limit and play within it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you're looking at stuff as like, okay, you may not have an army of 40,
Right.
but you may have like a platoon of 6. And you're looking at stuff of like, yo, if these 6 don't come through or don't show, like you can't go past because you can't deplete anything
Right.
more
Yeah.
than this and stuff, whatever. So you're looking like, yo, I can help about this, but who is going to help pour back and stuff and refill my tank?
Yeah.
So if no one's going to help refill your tank, you'd be like, whoa, I can't give that much.
Right. Yeah. Just
Let me wait for my tank to fill back up on my own before I'm able to help. And this goes back to the beginning root thing where you were saying this stuff. But if I'm able to do it,
yeah, more power to it.
I like that.
If I'm able to do it, more power to it.
I like that.
Yeah, bars. Yeah, the bars on the
It
Sunday.
could be the sun, say the sun.
It could be the Suns.
I'm able to do it. More power to it.
More power to it.
All right. That's an early one for y'all. Let's cook with the polls, man. Let's cook. All right. So first poll of the week was: do people have more fear? What do people have more fear in? Right? Do they have more fear in the law, which we spoke about, or God? And 71% said the law.
71% said the law.
They said the law. Same thing what you were saying and stuff like that. Whatever. Yeah. They agreements and stuff. I looked at it. I did glance at the poll while it was going on at the time.
Yeah.
And I racked back to like last week's episode when we were kind of just grazing up on it and everything. And I looked at that stuff as like a lot of people, and there's no shade, but I feel like, a lot of people and stuff, the disparity of like, I guess, religion and faith have kind of like slipped away. Because if you look at it, stuff is where, would you consider your parents Advent churchgoers when they were doing the church thing like that?
Yeah.
Do you see, and then like look at yourself now.
Right.
Are you an Advent churchgoer?
No, not that.
Right?
No, not
and then the case in point. So when you were saying stuff like that, I looked at it and stuff, I was like, it's so true. And like the truth hurts so good.
Yeah.
But I look at it and stuff as where you can have somebody take a life of a person, let's say like somebody being like killer.
Yeah.
Whatever. be like, yeah, I'll tell you I graze, like I bust shots and stuff at your mama or whosoever and all the above. But they won't swear to God.
No.
So that's how I was looking. I'm like, this is different. It's like killing somebody is law.
Yeah.
Problem.
Mhm.
Killing somebody is God's problem. What
Mhm.
thou shalt not kill is in the 10th commandment. But you're looking like, oh, shit, like my Lord. They tell me like, yo, like terrorist kid and stuff, whatever the other day who got the 80 years. TK.
Oh, yeah.
TK. Right? Like I look at it as like he had no problem. I want to say the first situation that I heard with the first person dead, I heard he didn't actually pull the trigger. This is allegedly.
Right.
I don't know the
Yeah,
case.
Yeah.
But the second situation with the photographer young man,
Yeah.
he definitely did.
Okay.
And I looked at it and stuff. I was like, okay. And I guess he's looking for like redemption. You know, he spent his childhood, part of his childhood and stuff, whatever. And there he is now 24 years old.
Yeah.
And all the above and everything. But he ain't fear no law. The song was called The Race.
Yeah.
Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He shot the whole music video and stuff for the right thing. And they're like, oh, he was a kid and everything like that. And he didn't know any better and stuff. I get it. But again, it takes a lot to raise a child. Like yes, you can fuck a person, some white stuff comes out, eggs get fertilized, and this kid might grow up with no love. And then you have another set of a kid or a situation happen like that, and this kid is growing up with love.
Yeah.
Not everybody's meant to be parents.
No.
So if you don't have the time and energies to put in your kid to not, and I'm not calling anybody out, but like if you don't have that time and energy to make sure your kid don't turn out with a situation like that,
Yeah.
you need to put the time and effort in it. And you have to know for a fact, whatever, like, yo, this is beyond my means to help this child. I've done everything honestly and truly for this child.
Yeah.
So this is out of my hands, whatever. But when you have like the parents or something like that coming into these court cases and stuff for their kid being a career crook,
Yeah.
you're crying now because the child is getting all these years and this time and stuff, whatever. What was you?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I think it's just the lack of faith and the destruction of it. That's making it more. Let's fear the policeman, because the justice system, you'll have to face here and now. The judgment of God, you don't gotta face till you're dead.
True that.
Right? So a lot of people are saying, shit, well, if there's something I gotta face, I don't gotta face it till I'm dead. This shit I gotta face now.
Yeah. We don't know when we're gonna die though.
We don't know when we're gonna die.
All right. But leads us to the second question. Second poll of the week and stuff. Is the world ready for a woman pope? And what do you think the percentage is for that one? They're on the yes side or on the no side?
I think they're on the no side.
They're on the no side. 71% said no. Talk the things. Tell me how you feel. Tell me why you say no.
Yeah, I think it's still a patriarch type of thing.
Mhm.
It's not that long ago when they just started letting women actually become preachers.
True.
It's not. We're not that far removed from that, right? So if you think of that from that standpoint, like the Pope is supposed to be what, God's representation on earth.
I heard something else. Whatever. I heard, the world's conscience. That's what I heard.
The world's conscience.
I don't like that statement, but we'll get to that and stuff. Whatever. But go ahead. Finish cook.
But he's supposed to. So that's a high order, right?
Well, do men have more compassion than women, or women have?
I think women have way more compassion.
Why not put a woman in a position? That's what I'm saying. If she's full with that kind of compassion, like I look at it. Go ahead.
But I would argue that Mother Teresa might have been more famous than few of the popes that we've had. Do we actually need a woman to be pope, or do we just need someone to be another Mother Teresa?
When was the last time we had a Mother Teresa? Because Mother Teresa
thing.
died like so long ago.
So long ago.
And I want to say from what I've understood and stuff about the world and stuff is that like, women's rights kind of came up a long way and everything like that. More women are in more, I want to say, fields a lot more than before and stuff,
Yeah.
whatever, because like, which was more, it's more inclusive now
Right.
for a lot of places. Like, let's say like a woman CEO and stuff, whatever, like the rarity of that in like the 80s is probably far off compared to like where it is and stuff, like even in the 2010s.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're in the 2020s and stuff like that, where it's more understandable if you see it pop off. I look at stuff as what your Mother Teresa thing.
Mm-hmm.
The world hasn't cultivated a person and stuff to kind of do mimicry and stuff to that level, but yet and still we still consider women like the nurturers and stuff, but right? And a lot of men, like I said, they portray an imagery and stuff that men don't have the compassion. But here we're calling the Pope a man Pope,
Yeah.
the world's conscience.
I mean, I have mixed feelings about it, but I'd like for our podcast to continue.
Oh, my head.
So on with the next.
You know what? Patreon. We'll leave that to the
We'll leave
Patreon.
that.
All right, we're done. Okay, so my beef with let's go to okay. Pope Francis and stuff passed.
Yeah.
A week ago.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. He passed, and again, back to the world's conscience thing and stuff, right? I saw a video of the Pope in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
With some cardinals, like, hugging and kissing him and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
It was a black cardinal.
Yes.
And the black cardinal, now I don't know if the black cardinal owed him like $20 or something like that, whatever at the time, but he French fanned him, right?
Mm.
And I didn't like the imagery and stuff of it. I don't know a backstory between those two.
Yeah.
But I do know like, and I'm not knocking the Pope, let the dead rest.
Yeah.
But I look at it stuff as where if you're a politician and you're trying to campaign to make sure your imagery looks good,
Right.
shouldn't you do everything for that? Minus in, the Don Juan himself and stuff, whatever, running shit in down south.
Right.
If you're a Pope and say you don't fuck with this person and stuff like that, whatever, and they come up to try to do the kiss thing, you're on camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
You already know you're on camera. You just might be like, you let them kiss the cheek, whatever, like, this ain't over, bitch, nigga. Like, just say that.
Right.
But at least like look thing. But when you're fully like, yo, back up off me, man. Yo, just go your way. And like, but you fully embrace the other person. It's kind of like the Obama thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, hey, how's it going? Not the Obama, Key and Peele. Like, how's it going? All right. My brother. Come on. You already know how it go. So woo.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about the Caucasians that feel the type of way about it? So that's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't the black people feel the type of way? So I'm like, if you're the world's conscience, I hope in a position and stuff like that, whatever, it's not really a race thing. It's more of a, you didn't like this person kind of thing. But yet and still, you're on camera.
Yeah.
You have to act like you got some sense.
You gotta act like you have some sense. I guess, when you're in that league, right? I guess what is it, a superiority a superiority complex? Like, do I have to pretend for the pubes out in the rest of the world?
Bingo. So that's what I'm saying. He's already top dog. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't fuck with you. Let me let the world know that I don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
That don't seem too world's conscious,
No,
like compassionate to me.
Again, I have mixed feelings.
Okay. All right. Moving on. What would you do if you were the Pope? Because as you know, a new Pope is going to be elected soon.
The first thing I would do,
yes, talk about it,
is have a meeting with the world leaders.
Okay.
And ask them what will it take for them to respect my authority as God's living representative on the earth.
What if they say you got to go to a Diddy party?
They don't really respect me as a pope, do
Why?
they?
They're like, you know, because if you're asking
That's not
them,
in my book.
no, but you're asking and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I look at it stuff as like, I'm the farmer
Right,
with the shotgun.
right.
You're seeking refuge and stuff. You're like, yo, please, I need refuge. What did it take to get refuge and stuff, whatever, right? And be
Right.
like, caught the shotgun. Like, I called the shots.
So, the government of the world who are now watching Diddy on trial for fallaciousness
I don't like how you said fallacious. It's pun intended.
is going to turn around and ask me, the vicar, the most holiest man who's supposed to be on the earth, to partake in the Diddy party.
No, not partake. Just go and like the other celebrities and just leave early.
Just go and leave
Yeah,
early.
you know how they claim
So
they
go
went. They
bless the food and
just
cut.
the food, yeah, and cut
Bless the food
whatever.
and cut.
They after all that stuff happens after you leave in your golden car.
Yeah. See, here's a problem that I have with the. We're gonna get in. I tried to stray away, but we're gonna do it so the way that we can continue this conversation weeks on to go. No, the reason why I say that as I would sit them down is because, again, the title, the world conscience,
Right.
right?
Correct.
I'm supposed to, if I'm really the representative of God on this earth, then I'm supposed to be fighting for everything that's peaceful. I'm supposed to be fighting for everything to stop world
Agreed.
hunger. I'm supposed to be anything that I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to now do these things, and I think I have a duty to do these things vigorously as a representative
Mhm.
of God, right?
Mhm.
Like there shouldn't be any half stepping my duty, right?
Right.
And as a representative of God, I think world leaders should probably take me more seriously. And if they don't, then I'm supposed to look at it as they don't respect God as I should want them to respect God. So that should be a problem.
It is. Okay, so what if like like some countries allow the I believe it's called World Day.
I
You know,
think
like
so.
the Pope comes to like that particular place and like
Yeah.
all like the people just flock and stuff like,
Yeah.
oh shit, the Pope's gonna be in town and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that not like yo, we know your representation of God and stuff like that, whatever. Unfortunately, certain other things and stuff we can't really do within our power because it's not us, it's these people of us. So like
Right.
I'm government
Right.
and I'm looking like, yo, I can't get my all my peoples to agree to like whatever things you might be asking and stuff, whatever. But the most we can agree on
Right.
is have you come in, talk to the youth, bless the peoples in our country and stuff. And to show you we respect you.
Yeah, but if you bring me in for that day and we do all of this, right?
Yeah.
And then I leave, and then
It's to the wayside.
everything is fucked again, right? It's like
Yeah.
just like everything hasn't stopped me from me being there. Like I'm in this one part of the city, shit's probably going south somewhere else in your country, right? I'm just saying, it's like people follow this man.
Of course.
People send prayers to this man.
Sorry, I'm ignorant. What do you mean? Like
they pray for the Pope.
Oh!
Right?
I thought you mean like, dear Pope.
Yeah. Well,
My dog needs a blessing and stuff like that.
They'll do that too.
He has email?
Yes, he has email.
Wait, Pope is the Pope on the gram?
I don't know if he's on the gram.
Okay.
I don't know if he's on the gram,
Okay.
but he gets letters. He gets tons of mail, right? But I'm saying, like, we put so much faith in this one man, and he can't do anything for us on a world stage.
I see why you didn't want to go in this conversation. I get it. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Because if every country and stuff, whatever, the way they adore and they talk about the Pope,
Yeah.
I believe most religions, I don't know about all of them, but most religions preach peace and love.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want peace and love for your country?
Why wouldn't you?
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
Like this whole Ukraine and Russia thing. The Pope should be able to say like the first 6 months. The Pope should have been able to come in and say, "Listen, okay, you guys, you guys are
This is not God-like.
This is not God.
This is not Christ-like.
You guys obviously cannot figure this out by yourself. I'm stepping in as God, as the representative of God, to say no. We no longer can do this. So let's find another way." He does. I don't.
The gunshot count is at 3 now.
I don't get it. He don't have this power. You know what I mean?
Why have him?
Why? And this is why I do want to continue, but we're here.
Oh,
we're
so
here now.
Because I cracked the Da Vinci Code.
We're here now. We're here now.
I just wanted to have fun today.
Yeah.
But we're here.
We're here now.
God's plan.
God's plan. Right? And I mean, if I'm God and I'm looking down at you, I'm saying, bruh, you seen what my son did?
Mm-hmm. And they crucified him.
And
now you want to jump up and take a position similar to him and stuff. God's like, do you, boo-boo? Do you?
Do you? And if you ain't gonna rep me like how my son repped you, then I'm not coming to save you from anything. You have no authority. I'm not gonna give you the authority if you're not repping me like how my son repped me. How am I supposed to? How can I give the authority to you?
Well, if I'm talking like if I'm the Pope and stuff, if I'm not repping you like you think and stuff like that, whatever, maybe that's the reason why you probably don't give that godly protection over me and stuff like that, whatever. But the governments, though, the Vatican, though, they're giving me like a bulletproof whip to roll around.
They're giving me a bulletproof whip to roll around in.
I mean, and
I'm doing all of this.
I'm getting 3 square meals. People washing my feet.
Yes.
I mean,
yes, I'm getting all these favors for people who want favors. Oof.
All right.
I'm getting all these favors for people who want me to bless them for their wrongdoings.
I'm not sure if I really know, I want to say, like Putin's religion.
Yeah.
But I would feel like, let's say, some of the Ukrainian folk.
Right.
They might be Orthodox Catholic.
Yeah.
But Catholic is still semi-Catholic, right? So I look at it as stuff as where, let's say Putin and stuff and his peoples and stuff are Catholic. The Ukrainian side is Catholic. You're absolutely right. The Pope be like, yo, stop this, man. This is not Christ-like. Lives are being taken and stuff. Whatever. You guys trying to play God. Like, I'll hear like a bless the world and bless the lives are lost and stuff like that. No. Go out there. Use your bulletproof, whatever the hell vehicle.
Yeah.
Schedule something. If you put some respect on my name as the Pope,
yeah,
you're going to open the door. You're going to have dinner with me or we're going to have this convo and we're going to think. But because you don't respect me, it's got to be like, man, fuck that nigga and just keep it pushing.
Yeah, what power do you have?
Yeah.
I once, listen, I hear the preachers tell me more that God has come and told them to tell you to say this.
This is facts.
I've never heard a Pope come up and say, hey, I got a vision from God last night. And he said, if y'all don't stop fighting, there's going to be some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect the Pope to be getting these messages. If you are the guy, the representative on this planet Earth, these messages should be coming through you. Not Jimmy Swaggart. Not all these other. You are the vicar. You're the vicar of.
Yeah. Well said, man. Well said. Do you believe that, like, let's say, like, okay, and I don't want to call out any people and stuff, but I'm just going to use him as an example because he did Shaka Bars.
Okay.
On the gram and everything. Do you believe that certain people, they do not, let's say, let's start with Black people. Do you feel like some Black people and stuff, whatever, won't put some respect on, let's say, the Pope Like I'm not saying you. Your argument or your discussion and stuff, whatever, is valid, has
Yeah.
valid points and stuff like that, whatever.
Yeah.
I would love for this to get elevated and get tossed out there to like the new pope or the new cardinal.
Yeah.
Who's gonna take the position and stuff and be like, we got questions. We just want some answers. Right? And they might think they're more higher than us or the most highest, where they can like, you're not blue check verified. I don't have to read your shit.
Right.
Like, do you think black people and stuff would put respect on the Pope? Or would it take for them like to put a respect on the Pope if it was a black Pope?
No. I think, again, I think majority of the black people will probably fall in line with Christianity itself and not Catholicism. And I say that to say this. Most of us who are brought up as Christians were brought up to that you only worship in Jesus.
Amen. Habit. Sorry.
No, yeah, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
You only worship in Jesus, right? And you're not bound down before no man.
No man. But then here you have this guy and stuff in the bulletproof whip, in the Vatican. I heard allegedly dropping deuces and stuff on the golden toilet.
All right. So there's that aspect of it. We're not, there's not much of us that are Catholic. I think the ones that are Catholic will hold him in some sort of reverence. But then at the same time, they also, hold Mary in reverence. Regular Christians wouldn't do that, right?
Right. Mother Holy Mary, full of grace. Yeah. Do you think black people respect other black people? Like, and in the regard, what I'm saying is where, let's say, Mark Saunders, the former police chief.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll say him, and then I'm gonna move on to Obama. But the correlation and stuff between the two is like, we're saying the police ill-treat black people a type of way.
Right.
Right? And it's racist. It's a whatever kind of thing. They just submit to like the blue bloods, in their world and everything like that. Whatever. That's why they don't put respect on the young black people, or Rodney King situations may happen. Whatever. Right.
Right.
You put Mark Saunders as chief of police at the time.
Yeah.
Black people didn't put respect on him. And it's the same thing with Obama, where the correlation is and stuff is that like, yo, we now have a black president, or at that time we had a black president.
Right.
And look at people, black people, that probably like he's a puppet or he's this, that, and the third. And they said the same thing for Mark Saunders. So like, do you think black people put respect on other black people?
I think they only put the respect on you if they know your background. And if they can identify with you, because it's like, it's not because you're black means that
like
I
can
can
relate you. If they can relate,
not because that I'm black means that we're both black means that you can relate to my issues and I can relate to your issues. You might have grew up in, the suburbs, and might have went to an Ivy League school and may have not had to eat any Cheerios or whatever for breakfast. So what's the struggle meal?
Cheerios is struggle meal?
I don't know. Sardines for breakfast, is that what Biggie ate?
Yeah.
You may not.
Sardines for dinner.
Sardines for dinner. You may not know any of that, right? And so, yeah, you may not understand the struggle, how I need you to understand it. Right. And you may feel because that phrase, not all skinfolk is kinfolk, or not all kinfolk is skinfolk.
Right.
That's a real thing. Like
100%.
you may not know what it is for me to suffer. And then because of that, you may say stuff or you may do stuff that is counteractive to what I would want you to do as a Black person, right? So again, I'm not so sure how I would relate it to the Mark Saunders situation, other than you probably would have been respected more if you said
He had a Black wife? Oh.
If you said, as police chief, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna go into these underprivileged areas
Okay.
and set up shop. Sit there. I'm not gonna go out there and physically go and look for people to shake hands and say, hey, I'm the police chief.
Okay.
I want to know your struggles, but I'll sit in the hood. And if you want to come and talk to me, I'm more than welcome to let you know who I am. Let you know who I be. Let you know that you don't have to fear me, or you don't have to wonder if I'm going to be like you, or if I'm going to even understand you. Let me understand you. Come here and sit down and talk to me and let me understand you. If you do if you do these things, if you make yourself accessible, making yourself accessible allows people now that you allowing people in your world now. And now people can have an idea of, you know what? As a Black man, he may not have grown up in the projects. He may not know about eating sardines for dinner, but he's at least willing to hear and listen, to have an understanding of it. Now you become
relatable.
Now you become relatable, right? But if you're not doing that, if you're just following all the talking points that everybody else, whether it be Black, white, Chinese, or Indian, before you came to do, but nothing else has been done after that, then you're just like them.
Should those, let's say, I like that conversation, because I'm gonna ask you, should or do you believe that if that wasn't in the job description and stuff before, like the previous chief of police officers, moving forward after like a statement like that, whatever, you would respect a chief of police and stuff if they did that? Like they went to, are you saying like the dangerous hoods? Let's say like, for example, like here, like pick a dangerous hood. Are you saying that like he goes in there with his little mini platoon and stuff, whatever, and be like, yo, you want to come talk to me and stuff, or I want to see why this hood is so dangerous?
Yeah.
And he does like a walk around or something like that, whatever, like, hey, say he sees like a drug dealer and stuff, whatever, and he kind of knows, he like kind of just scurry over to like, hey, can we talk to you for a second? If they get nervous, they're going to run.
Right.
But then his platoon might chase them.
Right.
When they're looking like, this is not going to make him relatable.
No, it's not going to make him relatable.
So, I don't think it's safe for him, he or she, to even just set up shop and stuff, whatever, in some of these places.
No, well, then you make it, I think okay, for instance, imagine the event that we went to as the Sons up at Jane and Finch at that park.
The community,
right? The community event, right?
Right.
There was a huge police presence. They had like the police had their own little setup there in the park. So imagine something similar like that,
and
right?
Like different hoods.
And you do it like that, yeah, in different hoods.
Yeah, so like,
and you have come and meet the chief.
And then bring your questions and talk.
The chief says he kicks. Maybe you have him kick it off, right? He comes in, he does a little speech, right? Let's see a little.
We're gonna have Cornell Official before, but before that, hey, you want to come talk to me? I'm over by the Nacho Hut.
There, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, no, I can relate to that. I can. I just try to make sure I got the vision.
Yeah.
Because the thing and stuff is where there's a lot of people, and I feel like let's start with your own. I feel like a lot of Black people and stuff, again, going back to it, they never had no shred of respect for the dude because they just always considered the dude as a puppet.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, yo, boss, you guys said Bill Blair was, I guess, the police antichrist.
Right.
Then he moved on to be with the RCMP.
Yeah.
And then now you have Saunders, And now your beef with Saunders is not that like shit is not getting done, but you're saying like he's just a puppet. But I'm like, put some respect on it. How many black chief police officers do you know?
You don't know a lot, right? But again, it's like, okay, you hold that position, right?
Mm.
But then you also got to think of like, what are you doing within your community? Like, you hold this position as a representative of your community, but what are you doing within your community? Because that's two different things.
Now, what if like getting the drugs off the street and stuff in your neighborhood is an overrun drug kind of neighborhood?
Yeah.
And we do like, you know, when they have those massive raids and stuff and the sweeps where like they just scoop up a whole bunch of people.
Right.
We're trying to make a community cleaner again.
Okay, but how are you doing that though? Is that the only way you doing it? Because any police chief will do that. And any police chief will do that. Not even in a time for looking for peace, but in a time for looking for re-election. Like I haven't heard so much about crime and crime bills in the last I want to say 2 years than I have in the last month or so. Why? Because it's election time. Right?
Right.
So now that it's election time, they're reminding you, hey, we can do this with crime. We can get tough on crime. We can get, and I always tell people, it's like it's election time. It's always going to be promises. Are you going to hold your feet to the fire when the election time is done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because seldom, how many out of the 9 promises you may get 4 during that person's term. You
Very
may
true.
get 4 during
Very
that
true.
person's term, right?
And that's wishful thinking too.
That's wishful thinking.
Because I look at it stuff as where, and this is where I think, you know, Donald Trump, like I look at it stuff as like, yo, if this guy's like, when I get into office, I'm doing this, 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 and this. The man got into office, he did check, 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 and check.
He's checking.
So I'm looking at stuff, I'm like, he seems to be delivering. When you're getting this, folks, it's 100 days since he's been in office.
Yeah.
It's been 100 days since Donald Trump has been in office. Then ask all the things that he was saying prior to getting in office. Has he accomplished even some of those things within the month of, like, within the 100 days?
I think the problem that he's facing right now is the important checks that are not getting checked off, right? Because a lot of people voted for him when he said he's going to lower this and he's going to lower that, right? Those checks have not come. And those checks now look like they're not going to come with everything else that's happening, with all the other checks that have been checked
like,
off.
So saying like, let's say that might have been like number 8 on the check off list of 10.
Right.
He done dominated 5.
Yeah.
But within the 5, it caused a cascade effect why 8 is not possible.
And majority of the people may have voted for 8. You get what I'm saying? So this is the problem he's facing. Yeah, he's checking off, and which is good, because you have to be within the understanding that he's not going to be able to check off all 10. He's not. 8 out of 10 is a good score, but if those 2 that are not being checked off is what's really detrimental to you, then he has done a job for you.
I don't think that's fair.
It's not fair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's fair.
Okay, because I look at
it's
something
not
like
fair.
Like who you think I'm God? You think I'm the Pope? I would look at something
it's
like,
not fair.
I've done my best.
I'm just saying,
yeah,
you can't vote these people in on that expectation.
That's a fact.
That it's going to be done for you.
That's a major fact. I wish we would have said this a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
Because consider the fact that voting election day is Monday,
right,
28th, and then by the time you guys get this, will be the 29th. But well said.
Yeah. Yeah. You vote them in, hoping that that's going to be accomplished for you. But just realize that it may not.
So let's say, all right, let's say even a sitting party or a sitting, let's say, chief or whosoever at sitting position, right?
Right.
You didn't deliver, right? And let's say your term would be 3 years or
Yeah.
4 years, right?
Yeah.
You didn't deliver and stuff within the 4 years, whatever. Why should we keep you?
No, but you shouldn't, right?
Oh, okay.
You shouldn't. But what's gonna happen when he recampaigns?
Well, I mean, if he recampaigns and be like, "Yo, boss, we asked you were there,
Right.
we asked you and stuff to do these things. You did amazing on number 4.
Right.
It fucked up number 8 to get done.
Right.
Within the whole few years and stuff, because you jumped in to deal with 4 in the beginning.
Yeah.
When it came to number 8, even at the ending of the race, you still haven't done anything and stuff prior.
Right.
Why should we put you back?
Okay, so during the 4 years,
Mhm.
right? While number 8 didn't get done,
Yeah.
right? And while number 9 didn't get done. Number 1 to 8 got done. While number 9 didn't get done,
Right.
right? You had no issues with number 10. But all of a sudden, the cascade of events created a number 11.
Trade war?
So now,
Sorry.
so now here we come back to election time now, right?
Mhm.
I know I didn't do number 8. I know number 8 was a hard sell, right? So now I gotta tell you, I really wanted to do number 8. Couldn't get it done.
Why? You had all the power.
Couldn't get it done.
You had all the power.
This is what happens. And the administration, I underestimated the fuck ups that they did. So I couldn't do number 8 like that. I couldn't do number 9. I couldn't do number 9. I'm sorry.
Right.
1 to 8 I did. You see 1 to 8 I did, right?
Yeah.
I did to 1 to 8. But guess what? Give me a number 4 years. I'm gonna fix number 11.
Nope.
I'm gonna fix number 11.
You can help create number 11 though.
Who better to fix it than the person who helped create it? And they say that shit. They tell you that shit.
Oh, shit.
They tell you that shit. Who better to fix it than the ones that created it? Vote us in. We know what it is. We can fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So now you say, oh fuck. Well, they did create number 11. All right, let's give them a chance to fix number 11. Well, the other side is saying they might come up with a better idea to fix number 11. So now you're gonna go wherever the choice is. That's where you're gonna go. But always make sure the choice is for you. It's gonna work for you. But understand that even with making that choice for you, it still may not happen.
That's true. Well said. Do you still have high hopes for the Black community to come together? And I asked that because consider the fact that you and I want to say, we'll say we, right?
Yeah.
We've created the Buy Black Friday kind of campaign and stuff like that, right?
Right.
To be honest, I still hold true to that.
Yeah.
For my own personal reasons and stuff there, because I look at the stuff as where your win is not my loss. If I don't know you, your win is not my loss. But I look at the stuff as like, yeah, the same thing you said, not all skin folk is kinfolk.
Right.
But I like to see representation of somebody like you win.
Yes.
And I think that's the reason why we kind of support some people that don't really need the support. Because kind of like, I kind of see myself to do, or I could have possibly done that, whatever, right? Because like, people that play basketball would be like, doing all that and stuff, I could do that, whatever. Like, this person ain't special.
Yeah.
Then you see a Steph Curry go on the court and stuff, and he's just knocking the shots down, whatever, like half court, this, that, anywhere and everything. Like, can you really do that? Can you really? And I look at the stuff as where we've done Buy Black Friday campaigns, right?
Right.
There's even other things and stuff, or let's say other agencies that have done things and stuff on similar notes and stuff, how we were doing and everything.
Yeah.
Have you seen any change in certain type of things that you've done, or even from these other organizations that have done something similar?
No, it has to be. It has to start. It needs someone to spearhead it. And when I mean
someone they respect,
yeah,
someone that we can relate to.
Yeah, and I think we've had this argument already. Like, who is our last Dr. King? Like, who is our last
Dr. Umar? No, I'm joking.
But no, but he could be that person. But how do you get Black people to rally behind him? Because that's what it's going to take, right? You need somebody who's going to be outspoken for the cause, but then you need people who are going to be able to back him, so he can go ahead and continue to really take on that role. Like, again, like going back to I may have those questions for the Pope, but maybe the Pope's not moving like how he should be because he doesn't have that backative to really say, hey, if I put my neck on the line, who's going to be behind me to make sure it doesn't get chopped off? Type of deal, right?
Secret Service of Vatican.
You would hope. And they might be
You would
working.
hope
They
for the
might be
Pope.
working for the people who are doing the chopping. Right?
I mean, yeah, because then I believe John Paul got poisoned. I believe he got poisoned. Like, he had assassination attempts, obviously,
This
on
is what
his
I'm saying,
life.
right? So
But I look at it
this
as
is
like,
what it is.
I think going out to go see the people to get shot
Yeah.
is one thing.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, we know agencies, you know, how they could work and send a mole and stuff in the community, et cetera, et cetera. But getting poisoned in the place that's supposed to prep your food and all that type of stuff,
That's just insane.
that's institution. That's the institution.
Yeah. Yeah. But without without a leader, I don't see it possible. I don't see it possible.
Who would you like, you know, ballpark and stuff in your head? Because I know, like, I said it in jest to Dr. Umar, but you're saying, I like what you're saying and stuff, whatever. You're like, we might need somebody to speak that loud.
Yeah.
To kind of to rally the attention. But I want to say, to me, I feel like we had Sharptons. We had Al Sharptons. We had Farrakhan's. We had Rainbow Coalition with Martin Luther King. Jesse Jackson. We had people like that and stuff prior. And I mean, when Al Sharpton took a selfie in the mirror and stuff, whatever, Jay-Z made a bar to make fun of him.
Yeah.
So, like, clearly Jay-Z don't respect him.
Right.
Right? And then some people didn't respect Al Sharpton and stuff, whatever, I guess, for the selfie thing and stuff like that as well. So I'm looking like, yo, I don't think Black people have any respect like that on certain people.
No, and now you need a newer face for this new age, right? It's like,
Right.
we can't
Yeah, you can't use those old.
Yeah, you can't use those guys, right? So you
pass the power.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so Dr. Umar, who is current, I would say he communicates well within the age range between, I want to say between 25 and 60. I think that age group has a good idea of who Dr. Umar is. So, you know, that's a good enough group, right? That you can try to mobilize, but it's not like, well, how do you mobilize them? I think that's the question, right? There's so much other things that has us distracted and pulled apart from a goal of coming together. That is like, how do you combat that? Right? Like, how, as a leader, like, how do you get people on board with that? Right? And I think, and again, it goes back to the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's. I think what was key to their movement was that you've had actual musicians, artists, and sports people who were behind them. You know what I mean? Like, you had a Muhammad Ali who was political, who would back certain people. You had a Nat Cole who was political, who within the entertainment circles could say, hey, listen, this dude over here, Dr. Umar, he's a good dude. We need to rally behind him. We need to give him our support, right? So you need people in the entertainment circles who can set that trend of support.
Gotcha.
Right? And I don't like, The only person, the last person we had to do anything like that was Nipsey.
I would, yeah. For the most part, out loud.
Yeah, out loud,
Nipsey.
Nipsey.
Yeah.
Right, and without that out loudness, that I don't see it happen. I don't, if your favorite person is not supporting anything or any particular cause, it's hard,
Mm-hmm. No, I think positions of power definitely need to be passed on, and I look at it as stuff as where I like that thought. I've always thought that for myself. I always thought that, let's say I am Sharpton,
Right.
right? And if my cause is just and is true,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh shit, I'm not making my mark. However, I'm getting older.
Right.
They might need a newer face and stuff like that, whatever. Let me cultivate somebody to possibly get the position done,
Yeah.
right? Because I look at it stuff as like, and remember, Jesse Jackson and stuff was there when Martin Luther King got assassinated,
Right.
right? So I felt like Martin Luther King and those people, his followers and stuff, whatever, at that time, I believe he was cultivating them.
Yes.
And then look where the position where Jesse Jackson and stuff has gotten to and stuff where, like, with the Rainbow Coalition aspect. But then it still came to a mark where Black people just still didn't respect him. So it's kind of like, if they're not respecting you, would they respect even your protege, right?
Yeah, and they're always good. I mean, I think the part of the problem with Black people though is that they'll let the
Watch it,
chink
Charleston White.
they'll let the chink in the armor
Define them.
they'll let the chink in the armor let that person die. Or I don't know if I'm saying it right. Like, okay, for instance, if a white person, perfect example, Donald Trump.
Okay.
With all the underhandedness that this man has displayed, right?
Mm-hmm.
The shrewdness that he's displayed, right?
Mm-hmm.
The wild rhetoric that he's displayed, white people still back him. White people will still put him in a position to see whether or not he'll be able to benefit them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Not Black people. People ran with Martin Luther King Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then found out he had a mistress. And that became a focus.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about all the good stuff that he was trying to accomplish. This one chink in his armor, they're now going to start throwing arrows in that to kill him.
To get in between there. Did we find?
So you think of Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson has had a couple
little scandals.
Marion Barry he's had his scandals. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, none of these politicians, Black, white, Chinese, none of them are perfect.
No,
we all have their scandals.
And that's what I'm saying. We know that everybody is capable of being human. You're not always going to be right. You're not always going to be perfect and stuff like that, whatever. But we use this to, like you said, like I don't want to say ridicule. I want to say crucify.
Yeah.
More so the person and stuff like that, whatever. When I'm looking, I'm like, you might need forgiveness and stuff in certain type of other aspects, not like that. So let's say, for example, you don't hit your wife.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And you might look down at a person stuff that might hit their wife. But then you might be in a position stuff where you might cheat on your wife.
Right.
Right? So I'm looking at stuff as like, you're not perfect as well. We are just acknowledging stuff for that, but why are you throwing stones and stuff for that this person?
Right.
Right? And I've been looking at it and stuff for that, but the past week and stuff is like, yeah, I don't think Black people respect too many Black people. So I'm like, I think that's the problem with our come together togetherness and stuff, whatever. Because if we did have more respect for like, I don't know, let's say if we did have more respect for, and I'll say it loosely and lightly, like because I don't know if let's say Cardinal official. I already spoke about him earlier and everything, whatever. And no shade to Cardinal and stuff, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But if we backed Cardinal for like all the things that he's done and everything from music wise to like other things and stuff like that, and we like let's say fueled his tank,
Yeah.
and he didn't get to the mark that we needed him to get to and stuff like that, whatever, do we look at him less than? Because it's like, no shade to Drake. Drake came after Cardinal.
Right.
Cardinal kind of like, to me, not all, I'm not saying this stuff because people probably didn't respect Canadian rappers and stuff like that then.
Yeah.
But then after that, when Drake came out and stuff, whatever, it's like, oh, Canada has rappers.
Right.
So people like, oh, I guess Maestro Fresh, Cardinal, a list of Canadian other rappers and stuff before, be like, the fuck? I've been doing it.
Yeah.
I don't make music like this guy.
Right.
I got real bars.
Right.
Not saying, and I'm not shitting
No,
on
no,
yeah,
no,
but
yeah,
you get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So I'm looking, I'm like, they're not respecting the other people and stuff like that already prior. And then now you're in a situation where they're not respecting Drake. Because they're even looking at him like, you know, we're questioning your blackness because you half white. So it's like hard to get respect from black people.
I don't think it's hard. I don't think it's hard to get it. I think it's hard to keep it.
I think that's for everybody.
I think it's hard. I think
to keep it is for everybody.
Yeah, I don't think it's hard to get it though. Because at one point, you're right. At one point, they did respect Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I mean, it's in a world of, we call it follow fashion, is a Jamaican term. It became popular
Yeah.
to hate on Drake.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't think it's
I
the
told
fact.
you, I have footage in my phone. The
Yeah.
most disrespectful Drake moment in my life
Yeah.
is when right after that Not Like Us song came out, we're in downtown Toronto, fuckers out here crip walking and stuff to it.
Yeah.
You're in Toronto.
and this is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Not the fact that it's, listen, I don't care about the songs, right?
Mm.
But the fact that Drake is Canadian and I'm a Canadian, I'm not crip walking. I don't care what Drake has done.
This is gun counter number 4.
I don't care what Drake has done. I'm a fellow Canadian. I ain't crip walking. I'm standing on my 10 toes as a Canadian.
Says the man in a blue Raptors hat. You're the best. Yo. Done talk. Talk the things. School was in session.
School was in session.
All right. Let's get to the question of the week, man. Question of the week. I've turned 40. And you love me, I love you. You know, I got your back, you know, I got your back, and everything like that.
Yes, sir.
With all that you know about me, what are my blind spots?
With all that I know about you, what are your blind spots?
Because I feel like this is a question for best friends.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, it could be a couple thing too, whatever, but I look at it stuff as like a relationship or in a bond with a person.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you're not me, but you can see the things and stuff, whatever, that might either make me vulnerable, either break me down,
Yeah.
either make me useless, or like, you know, kill some of my progression. What are the blind spots that you see about me? What all that you know about me?
Your compassion doesn't show up as much as it should.
Ooh. And that's a tough pill to swallow. Why? Give me an example.
I think people think, and you know, and I don't think it's something that you're not aware of. I think when people, I think people see you, they get standoffish because they don't know you. And there's a personal side
Mm-hmm.
of you that doesn't show itself right away. People have to get to know you
Mm-hmm.
in order for them to see that side. And I think where I see you headed in your trajectory,
Mm-hmm.
I think it may be important for some people to get a glimpse of that right away.
Oh, like from meeting new people?
Yeah, I think it'd be beneficial if someone can get a glimpse of that right away. I think there's important people that are looking at you that are saying, looks like somebody I need to fuck with,
Mm-hmm.
but I may not know how to approach him.
So they're waiting for, I guess, for me to kind of create the open lane and space and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. For me, to answer that, I feel like I made a laneway like that previously.
Yeah.
In my world, in my walk. And I think I kind of let in the riffraff. Right? And I think because I've set a boundary.
Yeah.
On I don't really want the riffraff
Yeah.
within my world.
Yeah.
I guess that's where the lack of compassion seeing what it, but
that's where it is.
Yeah.
And I get that. I get that 100%. I think now it's to find, I wouldn't necessarily say balance, because I don't even look at it as a balance thing, more of an opportunity to see where the opportunity presents itself. Right? I think that's where it lines up now, to say, okay, that person
Mhm.
can be beneficial or helpful into where I need to go.
Mhm.
So let me show this person that side of me that's inviting. Does that make sense to you? I don't know.
It does.
I don't know
It
if that
does.
makes. Yeah.
It does. It does.
Yeah. Let me show that person like what's inviting to me. And again, it's it's something that I find myself even having to do like more recently. Like
I feel like you have a more warmer presence than I do.
Yeah.
Like I if I'm looking at you like with no bias and everything like that.
Yeah.
I feel like your presence is a lot less menacing than mine's could possibly be.
Yeah.
Because the way how you see yourself and the way how the world sees you and stuff are two different aspects.
Yeah.
Cause like I've kind of come into like, understanding, I guess, like charm, charisma, and certain type of things and stuff, whatever. To me, it's just living.
Right.
And to other people and stuff, they might gravitate more towards that.
Yeah.
But then to me, I'm not looking at stuff for you. Like if I don't know you, I'm not looking for you to like kind of be charmed by like, how I look or how I certain present some things.
Right.
My main concern and stuff is that you get the truth.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But then the truth will set you free, but at first it'll piss you off. And I guess that would be like, damn, he cold-blooded. Damn, he
right.
He hard.
So then maybe it'll be the in delivering the truth. Then.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I know I'm definitely not every day, but I can tell you this for a fact. And I looked at it in my own documentation format and stuff, whatever. The way how we started even with this podcast has grown my conversation, my intellect, and so many other things and stuff where that has changed, like I want to say my vernacular to even, again, to trying to bring in more to the masses and stuff like that, whatever. And what I mean by that, by the masses and stuff, is look at the stuff is where, not saying I wasn't doing something else and stuff with her, but a little change for the better could go a long way.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't like that first beginning change. And so the first beginning change for myself, I look at it stuff as like, I might speak in the language or me in the terminology that not everybody might be able to, not even say digest, but understand.
Yeah.
right? So I try to find a way and stuff where it's at least it's cohesive enough for for a good portion of people to get.
Yeah.
I understand the stuff. Again, the relatable thing is stuff for somebody like they might not be able to relate to a black dude who once lived in America, living in Canada and everything like that, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Could you relate to the black dude just given the information? And if there's no, then they might relate to another black podcaster or something like that, right?
Right.
But I'm looking at stuff as like, I'm trying to do my best with what I got.
Yeah.
And if it's not good enough for you, I'm not really seeking your approval.
Right. Yeah.
And there's no disrespect or shade to anybody.
No, of course not. Yeah. It's even to say, even when we have our show guests.
Yeah.
Apart from like the guests that may know us personally and have been around us and have, we've had previous interactions before. Apart from those guests, like just even like the guests that may not know of us personally.
Or the newer guests, to the future guests.
Or the future guests. Even when, it's quite telling when they come on the show, even though we prep them with like, what we possibly may talk about or, ask them what they're comfortable with talking about with or something like that. It's quite telling at the beginning of the show, there's still that apprehension. But as the show progresses and more of our personality starts to come out and more of our ways of thinking starts to come through the conversation, you can see the guest change, become more relaxed, become more attentive, become more responsive, and almost start to treat us like, oh shit, I feel a little bit more comfortable now that I know these guys ain't gonna chew off my neck, or you know what I mean, type of deal, right? So it's that apprehension that you need to originally get over. And I look at it as like, yo, like even the other day I was buying gas, and dude was in the lineup. I went to go pay, looked over, gave me the heads up, I got in the line after, started talking about today. How's your day going? I see my day's good, going good. That's how his day's going. His day's going good. He's like, yeah, I'm just getting ready. I'm about to move tomorrow. And I said, oh, damn, I'm about to move in June in a few months. I was like, hey, go, how long you been with? A whole conversation just started. And I'm saying to myself, oh shit, this guy seems like a really nice, personal guy.
Right.
But I would have never known that if he didn't if he didn't step out, give me the head nod, and continue that conversation.
I'm sorry, not to cut you. Did you head nod first or he head nodded?
No, he head nodded first.
Okay.
Yeah. So as soon as I came in, he seen me, and he gave me the head nod. Right. Yeah. So just because of that, the conversation started. Right.
Right.
We swapped out numbers. He's like, yo, when you're ready to move, give me a shot, give me a holler, I'll come get your hand.
Nice.
So I said, yo, that's dope. I came home. I said, yo, told the wife I met a really nice guy.
And he's a mover.
You know what I mean?
And we might need him in the future.
Exactly. Right? And I'm saying, here's somebody who I may have not known that I needed.
Right.
But guess what? I may need his services. And I now know that what he does or what he does. So exactly the same situation. Whereas there might be people in our lives that need us, but they just look at us like, it's like we may not be approachable, or how they look at us, or how they deem
is it
us
my
to be.
garments, or is it my skin tone? Is it the crown? It's the crown.
It may be the crown.
Might be the crown.
The crown
not every episode I have a crown.
Might be a little bit too much.
Just turned 40,
That's it. But yeah, I think there's anything. I think everything else, I think you pretty much have a handle on. I would think just showing that side of you a little bit more would probably be the only, and I don't even think it has to be a lot more, just maybe a little bit more. If there's anything I would suggest.
No, a little can go a long way, like what we were saying.
Yeah.
I think in the opposite of stuff for you, I don't think you have a blind spot too much, but I would look at it where, if any case, I feel like people need to put more spec on your name.
Yes.
Right. And I feel like, again, you've let in like kind of like the riffraff in, and they feel like they have access and stuff, whatever, to you. And we had a conversation, I guess, years ago now.
Right.
And there was a situation where somebody came at you and stuff and said, like, yo, I need you to do this, this, and this in order for me and someone else to be great.
Right.
When you're looking like, yo, I got my own shit to do. I'm happy to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it kind of goes back to the beginning conversation and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
And I feel like because I guess like the difference between you and I and stuff is that like I've set up a boundary to kind of keep the riffraff out.
Yeah.
And you're still kind of like filtering in until like, I want to say, they test you're a gangster. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it from my side and stuff, whatever. Like I feel like, yeah, like you might let the riffraff in too much, and then like one of the riffraff, not to say be a downfall, but they might fuck with your peace.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that happening.
That part.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
No problem. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the like question of the. Oh, sorry, we done the question. We ask the sons. Let's bring it home. First question comes from Pickle Nick 87. What do people waste money on thinking it was worth it, but it really wasn't?
Lottery tickets.
I bought lotto tickets for my birthday.
I'm about to go buy some just now. Don't worry, I'm still in the trap.
I was gonna say New Year's gym memberships. New Year's gym memberships. I look at it stuff as like if you do, like let's say if your birthday is even in October,
right,
and you're telling yourself like, yo, you're giving yourself April, you're giving yourself 6 months to work on yourself and get where you need to be with your body wise and everything like that. Whatever, dope. New Year shit, New Year, new me. There's something about the energy just always screams fall off to me.
Yeah.
Okay, next question comes from Galaxy K9. What is the dumbest reason someone got famous in the US? Octour? No. Well, that is one.
2 girls in 1 cup. Is that from the US?
No, that's Brazilian.
Oh, that's Brazil.
That was a different kind of Brazilian.
Yeah.
Salt Bay. And I say Salt Bay only on the strength of I wouldn't want nobody friggin' cooking and rolling salt off their elbow, thinking that like they're putting on some shit.
Yeah.
But then you see people out here doing French fries with the that, and the fact that we even know him at Salt Bay. I don't even know his real name.
I have no clue what his real name is.
The Salt Bay thing and stuff is an American coined term.
Okay.
So I would feel like that, and he does have restaurants and stuff, I believe, in Florida and some other places,
yeah,
and stuff for there. But
so is he actually American?
No, I believe.
Yeah, because I didn't think he was.
No, but he owns restaurants in America and stuff,
right.
whatever, right? And I guess with him doing that right there, that right there and stuff, whatever, just people like, oh, Salt Bay. If you do it in front of somebody and stuff later today, they be like, what are you, Salt Bay? And then just ask him, what's his real name? And see what they say.
Yeah, maybe Salt Bay and Haktua, they might be tied. Salt Bay and Haktua might be tied. I'm going to go with Haktua, yeah.
Okay. That's cool. We cooked. Last question comes from Thesassychick, excuse me. What is a super minor inconvenience that makes you irrationally angry? Some people do really have a knack for turning mountains out of molehills.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, to be honest, I'm not saying I'm not past it, but I get irritated and stuff now, maybe because I'm older now.
Yeah.
But I get irritated and stuff, and I kind of blow a gasket a little bit when I see people what do the kids call it today? Cutting it up. Like if they're on the highway or the roads and stuff, and they're just like,
it's funny that you said that because I was about to say changing lanes without indicating.
yeah.
Still irritates me to this day. Yeah.
And it'll throw off my song. Like if I'm even jamming to a song or I'm in conversation and stuff with someone, like say if I'm talking on the phone to somebody,
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, yeah, smooth, everything key and stuff for them. You know, I'm just chilling and stuff for them. They're like, cut it. This motherfucker's not even indicating. And you're like, why am I a motherfucker? No, smooth, you're not driving. And it just throws me off and just,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're in sync.
We're in sync. That one just drives me nuts.
Yo, don't it? Who raised them?
Just drives me nuts.
Yo. I hope it ain't Danica Patrick.
That and my other one is, well, I guess it's not a minor annoyance. I guess it is an annoyance. But roundabouts.
Talk about it. Like what the how it's supposed to run?
Drivers who are not hip to the etiquette of roundabouts.
Yeah, I've learned.
Yeah.
I've learned the stuff that like a lot of people, I think we need a tutorial on a lot of things.
We do.
That like the world has thrown at us to kind of make it better.
Yeah.
Roundabouts is something like that and stuff as well. People complain about not making a complete stop.
Yeah.
People complain and stuff. They don't understand the yield sign and stuff like that. Whatever. I feel like they need a tutorial for it.
You're not lying. You're not lying. I think roundabout, there has to be in driving school a better effort in making people understand that. And I think more so here in North America. I don't think so much in Europe because in Europe it's the roundabout world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But here, where it's not as much as frequent, you know, because I can see first-time drivers, if you approach a roundabout, it might be confusing as hell, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I get it.
You're looking like, so I have to go around this loop area to get to the other side where I need to go.
Yeah.
And here I have like 1-2 vehicles coming around this way and stuff, whatever.
Right.
Am I supposed to stop because they're like they're not slowing down, whatever, but they're already in it.
They're already in it.
Right.
And especially the 2-lane roundabouts.
Yeah.
So where the guy in the middle lane, just understand you're either supposed to be going straight or you're supposed to be making a left-hand turn. You can't make that left-hand turn from the right lane because a car in the left-hand lane might be going straight and you're just going to turn into that car.
Yeesh.
So it's very confusing if you do not know. So I'm like,
ladies and gentlemen, notice his tone got elevated.
It gets to be a pet peeve when I'm approaching it. When I'm approaching it, because it's never me that I'm worried about. I'm always worried about somebody who does not understand how to use it properly.
Correct. That's fair. All right. Well then, yeah. It's a wrap.
We're here.
It's a wrap. Oh, well, you had Associated Sons. You just spit it earlier.
Could you believe I forgot what I spit?
It's okay. I think.
Oh, it was it. If I'm with it, I did it or something.
If you did it, we can't acquit it. No, I'm fucking with you. No. R.I.P. Johnny. Yo. Okay, well, no, we can come back to that whatever another day. To them with Associated Sons this week. Associated Sons this week says, and this is more pertaining to like my world, what I've learned and stuff about celebrating and everything. Associated Sons this week and stuff is saying you should take the time to celebrate. You should take more than one day. Sorry, you should take more than one day to celebrate our loved ones. Associated Sons. Yes, a person might be born on one day, and I appreciate that and the celebration and the love and everything like that. But every day, everybody is capable of doing great shit. I'm not saying everybody does great shit, but I feel like you have the power and the ability to do great shit, and it's up to us to kind of champion and stuff. You doing your great shit and acknowledging the person doing the great stuff, and to hopefully, with that being said, more respect will go on the person's name.
Amen.
So say the sons, man.
So say the sons.
Well, we appreciate y'all. Like I said,
It's
we
always
always a pleasure and stuff to have you guys rocking with us. 100 days since Trump has been in office. You can tell us how you feel and stuff, whatever, in comment section below. And thank you for listening to the Podical Sons, man. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above, all streaming platforms
all the
possible.
above.
Remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Y'all, peace and love. Stay well out there.
Peace.